Hey man, I got another commentary for you guys again. 10 more days until the draft. Walter's playing NBA 2K20 and JJ is on the computer getting his life all together. The agent walks in and has a great surprise for the both of them and says to both of them that they have made it into the draft. So it's good news. Walter already knew he was going to make it. JJ was the one that didn't know he was going to make it, but they were impressed what he did in the combine. If you didn't see that video, you need to go check out the last recent couple videos and you will find it. But for the most part, you're going to see something very serious at this moment. Walter leaves the room and he says to JJ he wants to speak to him a little bit briefly. And he says, don't get too much over ahead of yourself. They like you, but you still have a lot to prove. This is the first step that you are going to take into an NBA atmosphere. I'm excited but scared at the same time. He is scared as an agent because he doesn't want to let anybody down. And he wants to be able to do as much as he possibly can to make sure that his career is good. But for the most part, he's going to let him know that he's going to try his hardest to keep his composure, but stay solid and stay tough. And they want you, so stay great. And he leaves the room and gives him a good compliment. He is talking to the gentleman that gave LeBron James a lifetime deal on Nike, but he tries to let him know that what is he going to be able to get when he gets there to the draft when he gets there. So he's talking about media, getting cameras, getting people to talk to him, ask him a couple questions, take a couple pictures, get fly for the event, and all this great stuff. So he's saying to him that this is going to be a great event in New York. It's happening in New York right now. JJ is right now suited up. He is here. He is ready. He's great. He's ready to talk to some people. A special guest comes, one of his old agents that was basically taking on his contracts before this new agent stepped in that seen more potential and got him more. And she is happy for him and great. And JJ is not upset that she's here. She came out to support. But the one thing that she said was that she was happy. Like, she was happy that he was happy with the decision that he was making. This is a great moment for him to actually be himself. And first of all, you will have to go to Swags and swag yourself out with a nice outfit, a nice attired, great outfit, something that will be very clean for the most part. This is my commentary about it, and this is just something that you're going to see and recognize for your own self. One thing about it too is you need to get a fresh haircut. I already have a fresh haircut in the game. I actually choose this style. It's one of my recent styles I choose from since 2017 and I never went back on it. And this was just one of the styles I was choosing. The barber who's actually cutting JJ's hair is the funniest. Oh my gosh, he has a funny lisp when he's talking, and everything he says has a funny accent towards it. It was hilarious. If you don't play the storyline, I'm telling you, for this part, you need to play the storyline because this guy's lisp is so funny. I can't redo it because I don't have a lisp, and it's something that I just was not born and have had. You know what I mean? That was just something that I didn't get. So I'm happy with that. But he was speaking, man. He was like literally, I was laughing the whole entire time, most of the time, and he was talking about the great players who have iconic haircuts and just these styles that really stand out to people that people recognize and know. And basically, I'm just one of those characters that have the same hairstyle, and I don't want to change it. People already recognize me for it, and they notice me, and it's something special that I have created in the game where it's a Shifu look, a Chinese look, you know what I mean, Japan look, like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those looks, you know what I mean? Chinese look, you know what I mean? Very, very, very dominant over there. But, you know what I mean? We haven't seen a Chinese basketball player that changed the fortune of the NBA basketball since Yao Ming, so I'm trying to create that same kind of feeling, But for the most part, um, he is getting his hair cut, and he was trying to clown him like he did his haircut bad. He cut something off that he was not supposed to scare him. But this guy is a wizard with the Clippers. That's what he was saying, and he's like, you know, what I mean, with every great superstar or um, ultimate ultimate key is their haircut. You know what I mean? Their fresh lineup, their fresh haircut that brings them out, makes their face stand very unique to everybody else, and finding a good barber is hard to find. And he was just saying, you know what I mean, you don't want to be put in the wrong hands and someone else take you on, and then you get a wrong barber that doesn't treat you right. So you know what I mean, kind of feeling like where he's saying you can always come back and get your haircuts before and after games and all that great stuff. So he's trying to like encourage him and let him know that he's got your hair really intact and really nicely. So, and he's giving him some word of advice and saying that, you know what I mean, you gotta be that guy. You gotta step up and be that guy. You know what I mean, that people see. So his agent right now outside of his condo, and they're in New York City for the draft day, and he's gonna drive him to the draft site and get him ready. And he sees the agent that once was taking on all his contracts before. JJ doesn't know what to say right now, but you know, what I mean, obviously this new agent told him to get rid of her so he can actually be able to do what he needs to do, and this was going to be the best move that he made. But she's here not as an agent, but more of a supporter and somebody who's supporting his career and saying, hey, you know, what I mean, I appreciate this gentleman. You know, even if he did what he did, he fired me from the job that I was once doing. But you know, what I mean, for the most part, she's happy to be around him, and happy for this moment to actually take place because he was in college for 4 years. The draft day is here, and they're waiting and waiting and waiting, and in the green room, and basically. This is basically one of the moments that are his most scariest. He didn't want to step outside. He didn't want to go out in the lights, excuse me. He didn't want to go out in the lights, and he didn't want to take the big onslaught with sitting there and being almost be the last person to be called. So he stood in the green room, and basically they called him in to let him know what team he was on. They said he was drafted. He has his jersey right in front of him, and he is going to talk to the press conference and let them know how he feels about the moment and how he's not living this moment down, and this is a life-changing experience. How he's actually really feeling is um, words can't even explain. Uh, and it's just one of those ones where he's just so happy to say that he's a part of something big, bigger than him, and he wants to be able to contribute and step in as soon as he can and contribute from whatever role he needs to be in. But for the most part, man, my character that I am choosing is going to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets was one of the teams that I felt like was the most strongest teams as a new upcoming point guard, as Murray was going to be taking over the status of the teams. And yeah, that was just basically something that caught my eye, and I wanted to play with him, and that was just what it was. As we are getting ready, the gentleman who was in the tournament when he got injured by getting clothesline and his knee blew out from the collision is still with JJ, and he got to chill with him and bring him to New Orleans. And he asked him if he wanted a water. He tossed him a water, and JJ made it over to New Orleans to come see him. And basically, JJ was actually asking him if he wanted to take a trip to Las Vegas so he can actually spend some time with his old friend and buddy. And they were just talking about all this great stuff and what his school is offering him, his new school is offering him, and all this great stuff. But at the same time, he misses the opportunity what he once had, and he's just pretty much in shock. But JJ got some great news, and he's gonna break it down to him and let him know what's going on right now, and he's gonna change his fortune of happiness for a very good time being. And JJ was able to do it, and um, he was just saying, you know what I mean? Like, he just can't wait to step on the court and all that great stuff, and he's gonna be killing it like he was before. But JJ's like, you know what I mean? We'll just have to see about that kind of feeling, and just trying to keep his spirits up. You know what I mean? And it just comes down to a time in a person's life when he gets injured. It's best to see people who he that care about him around him, because it just shows at the moments when he was actually healthy was it was hard to be around people, but because he's now more, stationary, it's just better for people to come see him and check him out and see the real him, even though he's going through his hard times and um having those moments. But this storyline has been really good. I really liked it. I appreciated everything I went through and learned off the show itself and off the storyline. It's been one of those games that I'm gonna enjoy. The storyline has been great. So they go to Las Vegas for the NBA rookie um, games, like where they host the games for the rookies, and before they come into the league, they gotta play into a couple games and all that great stuff. So I'm gonna be showing you some clips of those games, and he brings them along, and he tells them pack his bags, and now here they are in Las Vegas, and he's just so excited with all the stuff that's going on, the attractions, the lights, everything, and JJ has a surprise for him, and she is going to come through the doors, and it's so funny because this the guy who's injured is making a move on this girl as soon as possible, man. He makes a move on her as soon as possible. And he's just enlightened to say that, what I mean, he got first dibs, you know what I mean? So he's starting to make moves and have these great moments. But it's so funny, but if the only thing I could tell you is to play the storyline and enjoy it yourself, and you will see, and you will see all these great moments. But she denies it, and it's just funny that she makes those faces and eye contact. But my name is Chris Dash. I hope to see you again with another video. Come back, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and peace.